Well, I haven't done one of these video harp chat deals in a long time. So I just sat down and turned the program on and hit record, and got my blue harp here. I can't call it Nincompoop's video harp chat if I don't do something on the harp, and I don't really know what to do. Cassidy is our newest Grandcat, and she's okay. There, see? Alright. She's probably going to get here and scratch at the screen, but we'll see what she does. I gotta figure out something to play. Oops, she jumped. She hasn't heard this yet. Well, she's just swatting at little pieces of paper and stuff hanging around here and looking at the screen. That wasn't really much of a harp thing. She's unfazed by it. She's more interested in chewing on my earplugs. You probably shouldn't do that. Oh, okay. Okay. So you're more interesting than the harp anyway, aren't you? Yes, yes, I am. She was very, very tiny when Stacy brought her home. I could hold her in one hand. No bite, no bite. You gotta learn. Alright, I'm gonna put you on the bed. There you go, on the bed. Okay, so there's supposed to be some chat thing going on here. Something really interesting has happened lately. On Facebook, there's a page, a group called Remembering Tucson. And I went on that, and I've just been enjoying talking to people, meeting new people, and they post things. Many of them aren't in Tucson anymore, but they lived in Tucson, and they remember things about Tucson. So I ran into a lady that worked with me at the newspaper, and her name is Selena Suarez. And the interesting thing about Selena, I was at the newspaper. Don't play with the camera. Okay, fun. Anywho, and I got to know them quite well. Great people, the Suarez family. And they told me an interesting tale, not a tale, a truth, about unusual thing that would appear and happen in her grandmother's house in the barrio, the older part of downtown Tucson. And they had a house there that her grandmother bought in 1945. Anyway, to cut to the chase, they had unusual happenings in the house, pictures that would move and be shifted, and there was a Catholic school young girl in a Catholic uniform that would just appear. And Edgar, Selena's father, he said one of the first nights they ever spent in that house, and he was in bed, and he felt somebody take hold of his ankles and his legs and go like this, and he looked up, and here's this girl. And the girl would just turn and walk away. And I remember Edgar's wife, she also worked in the newspaper. I asked her, she was in the kitchen ironing one time, and the girl just sort of, you just feel like something's there, and you turn, and the girl's right there. And I asked her mother, was she misty? Could you see through her? And she said, no, she was just as solid as you and me. but she would never talk. And when you try and approach, she would go out a door real quickly, and then you open the door and look, and she'd be gone. And I remember her telling me they had a big party over there, family gathering in the backyard, and people came in and said, "Who is that young girl that appears over in the back side there by the bushes in the Catholic uniform? Who is that?" And so they told him the story about the young girl who would appear and disappear. Selena also told me there's two men that will appear periodically too. And the thing that impressed me about the whole thing is that these people are the salt of the earth. They're wonderful people. And every one of them were dead serious. Their stories didn't ever change or shift or anything. And I just thought that was very interesting. So anyway, when I touched base all these years later, probably 40 or however minutes long with Selena, I mentioned that to her in the message thing on Facebook. And am I remembering all this right? And she says, it's all true. And so she said her grandmother sold the house when she could no longer live in it by herself. They rented it to somebody at first, and the person didn't stay there very long because there was just things going on that they weren't too crazy about, so they didn't stay. Then she said there was somebody else come along, and they had things happening too. So I know where the house is, and I'm planning on getting in the bug and doing a little cruise down to the house. And it's been written up as one of the 10 haunted or unusual places in Tucson, in the barrio. I thought that was interesting. Whether you believe in the supernatural or things like that or not, it's just, I certainly don't know. I find it very, very intriguing and very interesting. Actually, I have my notes here on the address and everything, and I even looked up the name of the person who's living in the house now, and I've been very tempted. I have the phone number and everything to call, just for the heck of it, and see if they know the history of the house and if they've had any unusual circumstances happen. Anyway, I just felt that was kind of fun thing to talk about today. Sorry I haven't been doing too many of these Nincompoop Harp chat deals. I'm not real sure how good the Harp thing was this time, because with this kitten bouncing around all over me and trying to keep an eye on her, this is as far as this is going to get. I'm going to another car show today over at Freddy's Steak Burgers over here on Oracle, and I've been in quite a few of them and having a great time. And hopefully you all watched the video I did of our cruise up Mount Lemmon and back down. So that was a lot of fun, and I guess that'll be it for now.